coding and chatting or something. What did we say before, Nick?
I can hear them. I can't hear you, Robbie. I don't know.
You
what's
can't
up.
hear me. Interesting.
Or can you guys hear Robbie?
I can hear Robbie.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
How about now? I turned
you're
your.
still pretty faint, but everything else is loud.
I turned your headphones up.
Maybe I'm too close to the mic.
I'm just gonna lip read the whole time.
Any better?
I can hear you like outside the mic, like.
Okay, hold on.
You can take my mic if you want.
What would be the... Wait, hold on.
Is it because I'm further away or what?
I think I know the problem. What about now?
Oh, yeah, that's like... You can dial down the background, but I can definitely hear you crystal clear now.
Okay. Yeah, I can't really dial the background down too much.
It's all good.
I don't want to make the noise gate too high because it like... I don't know. Everyone's hearing us talk about this, but...
It's the AV podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, cool. What were we saying? Yeah. Hey, what's up? We'll just start over. Live at All Things Open with the folks from CodeRabbit. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. So before I ask you much else, we're going to start with the Cabernet because that's what we do here. So
right.
We just had Josh. Now we have Joel.
Oh. It's a double J kind of day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a long pour.
Yeah. All right. Pass it down.
Yep.
Oh, thanks, Joel. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
It must be hard for you guys, like at a conference. Whoa, that is a...
It's a generous Joel.
Yeah. You're my favorite bartender now.
Well, I mean, I don't want to take these with me, so...
That's what we've been saying all day.
That's one way to think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a fancy toast for you guys. Anyone have a toast that they have?
Do we do finger out, like pinky out with the...
Sure,
can.
like Dr. Evil or something? Like 100 billion.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the open source, I guess.
Yeah,
Open source.
Open source.
Joel tastes similar to Josh, I would say.
Yeah. I think they're related.
All right. Let's see. I should be on the right notes for this. So, you're from CodeRabbit. Give me an elevator pitch. What is it? Why do I want it?
Speed up your code review, make it easier to do code review.
All right, cool. We're done. We'll see you later.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
And that's the pod. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. More in depth, like, why choose it over something else? Like, what is it? What's your bread and butter? Like, what is it? What's the secret sauce?
I think the first thing I would say is try all the things.
Okay.
Like we've got a lot of competitors. They've got a lot of tools. They got a lot of products. Try them all. See the one that you like the most, the one that gives you the most value. We're here to provide value, support people. If you pick another one, my only request would be that you let us know why and what we could do better. But we have a default configuration that we think works really well with a lot of people for really any language, any kind of repo, and it's highly configurable as well. So it's a really quick onboarding. Like log in with GitHub or any SSO provider you want. Authorize the CodeRabbit AI OAuth GitHub app. So that's your second click. And then it's set to auto review any PR. So as soon as you open up a PR, it's gonna fire off. You'll see there'll be a comment that says, "Hey, I see this. I'm going to be comparing, this commit and this commit, and it's going to take a little bit of time because we pull down all that code. We run, probably hundreds of different tools, workflows, to try to understand what's going on in the code. Everything. I think one of the coolest things is we build up the abstract syntax tree, so we can really know how everything's connected. And then one of the things that is just immediate value that you'll see by default is a sequence diagram. So we'll give you an overview, summary, that kind of stuff, but we'll also provide you a visual sequence diagram of what's going on in the code based on the logic. So it's not, we've got a series of prompts that start with you're the world's best code reviewer, and YOLOing it. So it's just a ton of static tools. Like we're really open about it. That you can go on our site if you're enterprise, you probably care a lot about like compliance stuff, data retention policies, that kind of thing. We're super open about all that stuff. Trust.coderabbit.ai if you want to see that. We also have a blog post where we try to be open about, as soon as a new model comes out, we recognize that we have a lot of really valuable information just from seeing so many different repos. We're over 2 million repos, 13 million and growing. It's probably larger than that as of last week.
Okay.
Reviews that have been done. So we have a lot of, no one else really has that much information about code review and be able to kind of evaluate new models right as they come out. And so we try to blog about that stuff. Like when Claude 4.5 Sonnet came out, we got a blog post about that. We're showing kind of running through all of our evaluations, our data. What do we understand? And that one's a really interesting because it's better, but there's a paradox involved in it, and I won't give away more. You got to go read the blog post.
Okay.
But then GPT-5 came out, and GPT-5 Codex came out. These are all things in the last month and a half, something like that. And we compare those two, and we show what do we find? We don't try to hide that as competitive advantage information or anything like that. We just want to be there to support people. I think I said the other day, and a couple people have been saying it at this conference especially, and this will be the last thing I say on this breath, is that the most selfish thing that you can do in your life is be generous to others. Good things happen. If good things happen to you, if you're just generous for others, not oh, I'm going to be generous, because the ROI is high on being generous, but
right.
Just being generous, people talk to you, maybe down the line, someone connects you, maybe they don't, but you still feel good for helping somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point. So you talked a bit about, I forget the numbers, some millions of reviews ever. So I'm curious about policies on what if I don't want it to learn from my stuff, or I have a on-prem need to be very secure, or can you do that kind of thing, or?
Yep. It's kind of I don't know, I think a lot of people think there's some mythical secret sauce that you're gonna be able to develop if you retain everybody's, vacuum it all up, get everyone's data and store it, and then you're gonna have some kind of wild insights into how the world works or something that no one else does. But I think in reality, if you do that, the first thing you got to do now is, okay, now we got to have a hire for a security team.
Yeah.
Now we got to deal with the inevitable risk of some kind of leak of sensitive information. Okay, now we definitely got to have a PR team or get the best PR people. And you get systems and data warehousing. Those are just going to be costs that just keep scaling up. And then you're going to have to hire the world's best data scientists and ML engineers to just kind of dig into that data. So if you're a startup trying to go fast, I think the most important thing is you find what you want to do, and you do that one thing really, really well. And I see that a lot in a lot of open source projects that are going that way, like Ghosty. I was an iTerm user for a really long time, and then Ghosty came out, and yeah, you can take whatever you want because we're live, so we're not gonna.
You want some Joel? We got some Joel here if you'd like some.
Yeah, run downstairs.
All right. But maybe to get kind of direct at that question, in order to do good code review, you need to know what's actually in the code.
Sure.
Which is kind of an obvious statement, but we see a lot of people take a lot of shortcuts. So they're maybe indexing on things, or creating a cache, embeddings, all that kind of stuff, and that can definitely help from you've got an LLM and you send a prompt. If you're giving it an ability to kind of explore a highly compressed space, like a vector embedding of the code base, yeah, that's going to help them. But what's going to help them more is the same if you had a human that had infinite kind of time and resources and patience to go through line by line everything. That's going to be better than kind of this intuition that it might have of what's going on in the code base from doing some vector search kind of stuff. So Plus, you got to keep all that stuff updated. I don't know how much you want to go into like all the things, but like,
We're going deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell me. So what you're saying is you have a human that infinitely knows every line of every code base, is what I heard.
yeah, we have one intern.
Yeah.
His name's
reads every
Jerry.
line. Yeah.
It's Jerry.
He does it all.
Kudos to you, man.
Yeah, dude, Jerry. Hey, that's another J.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
It's gonna be the
Joel and-
next one on the list.
Yeah.
No, but I think to just touch on one thing that you said. I think one thing that I noticed about how we do things at CodeRabbit that is different to how I see many of the competitors going out there, and especially going to this conference. You know, you talk a lot about the competitors. Of course, everybody's using GitHub Copilot. Everybody's
Sure.
been checking out Bugbot from Cursor, and I think there is no team out there in the world right now that has been specialized on code reviews as intensively as CodeRabbit,
Okay.
and that really shows.
Okay.
Just from everything, starting from the user experience when you onboard someone to the product, all the way through how you configure our YAML file, the configurations that you can set, the ease of use. Like literally just coming here, I was almost late, almost would have broken on my German promise of being online because I was onboarding a very experienced JavaScript developer who hasn't even figured out that there was a YAML file because he was so satisfied with the product out of the box.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Nice.
struggle for us actually right now. Is like we see a lot of people, and one of the great things about just being we should say some really cool facts for open source about CodeRabbit. It's free for open source by default.
Nice.
There's no application you need to fill out, and someone will review it or not review it. It's just if the repo is set to public. I've got I think 160 repos on my GitHub, just
Okay.
random stuff, like 99% of it. But CodeRabbit's on them all for free forever. So we just eat that. It's a very large inference cost.
I was
we just
gonna
eat-
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be abused.
yeah. But and we see especially on like really big open source projects, people, and it's kind of like 50-50 where people have discovered that there's configuration that you can do
Okay.
outside like the default configuration, and then they kind of, some are like they change one thing, and some are like they make it do whatever they want. I've seen one. It's great in open source because you can just see how people are using your product too.
Yeah.
Like more people, not our competitors, maybe should do more for open source. No, them too.
Yeah, GitHub. Don't do anything for open source.
But we can see, like I saw one last week where they had it set up so that someone would open a PR, CodeRabbit would do its review. When CodeRabbit was done, it had a template for how PR should be done, and in that template is not just the naming and whatnot, but also what CodeRabbit's summaries and walkthroughs should be. Because I guess I should probably reach out to them. They thought, okay, well, we don't want that to be the second comment. We want the sequence diagram. We want the summary in the first comment.
Okay.
And so they had it so the pipeline, it would run, and then the CodeRabbit would edit the author's first comment on a PR. And I thought that was really cool. And I hadn't even thought about doing that myself.
Yeah.
So we have kind of like this challenge of like communicating to people like, hey, first time using it, maybe it's like 50-50 like hit rate on the value that it gives you, like in the comments it gives. I'd argue that that's a really good hit rate on signal to noise, because that means that it is helping you, it's providing value, and especially on the first pass of you open a PR and you have something, no one's going to come in. Hopefully, you don't have a review process that's like in 3 minutes, looks good to me, merge to production,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, who would do that?
Never. So like you come back 15, 20 minutes later or the next day or whatever, and you get this kind of helpful stuff there. And I think that's really great. But then you can just take it further. It's like, well, it does a really good job, and we're doing these other things still in review. And it's like anything that you're doing that you're always doing or always expecting in code review, you can probably get CodeRabbit to do it. You can just ask. So you can ask. This is another great fun feature. I've got a great story from yesterday about this feature. But you can just tag, as long as CodeRabbit's on your repo, you can just tag at CodeRabbit AI and ask it anything.
Okay.
And I mean anything. Like, I wish I had this pulled up.
Give me the Gettysburg Address.
So
Yeah.
yes, you can. So
Should I put ham on rye?
yes, we can ask all those things after. If you want to pull it up right now, we can do it. But I had a gentleman, and he had his daughter with him, 8 years old, and it's hard to stay in one place if you've got a little kid. And he had a lot of questions and wanted to see like tons of things because he was doing a talk on code review.
Okay.
And
Avi.
yeah,
Yeah, I know Avi. Yeah.
It's like a power couple, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
trading off, taking care of the kids. And I know what that's like, and you kind of get like anxious because you're getting pulled away by one thing, and you got something else as well. And so when she heard that about the chat thing, she's like, "Oh, okay." And we asked like a bunch of fun questions, like, "What's the most popular country in the world? Who's your favorite?"
Popular how?
Yeah.
That's a great question, because I asked her, I was like,
Nuance.
"Popular?" And she said popular. I'm like, that's ambiguous.
Yeah.
And so what it did was, what CodeRabbit did, and you can see it because, again, we're like, if you do chat with CodeRabbit, you get every single time at the top of its response, you'll get the analysis chain. And it's hidden. And I just realized today that, I made the connection that it's a carrot. It's like the triangle
rabbit.
carrot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like just in like GitHub Markdown, how you can collapse.
Oh, yeah.
Different carrot.
They're
It's a different carrot, but I
detailed,
was like-
summary,
that-
expandable HTML.
Yeah,
element.
exactly.
Carrot with the knee.
Yeah.
So like the my dad joke impulse is like, there's something there. We got to do something with the carrot. But in that, you can see exactly what CodeRabbit's done to arrive at whatever its response is. The answer is it's given. So on popular, you can see it performed a web query, and then it was like, what's the most popular country? And then it came up with, as part of that web query, what's the one that is like viewed as the best to go to? So like popular, and so it has a citation for some travel thing or whatever, some travel magazine. Then it's like, which one has the most people, and which one has the most tourists that visit it each year. And then so it provided that in like a kind of a fun thing, and then asked the second one was, can you go to the bathroom? And it responded with, which is, fun, your kids.
Yeah.
These are the topics that our youth are talking about. I'd like to say the wine is kicked in, that it has not kicked in yet.
Oh, Joel.
And it came back with like, no, I can't because I'm a it came out with like a really cute message. It was like, no, I can't because I'm a robot. I can help you with these things and these things. Put a little bunny emoji in there, and then it said like, the second line was like, but would you like to talk about the code that's in PR number 18?
I got a naive question for. I know CodeRabbit's used in because I know Daniel Rowe from like the Nux team, and I know I contributed to one of his projects, and he has CodeRabbit running there. Is CodeRabbit just for code review, or is it like, can you use it like a Claude Code or like a Codex, or is it really is the company really focused just on code review?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's not a bad thing. I'm just generally curious because like a lot of people try to be like we're the everything kind of.
Yes, we see that. We see that a lot. A couple things that make us kind of different in that area is, a lot of people are out there saying like, our AI coding tool or AI code review tool or something like that is so good that you can just let it go, YOLO mode, and just go. And I think we all have seen the results of those kinds of things when you just let them go. They are definitely getting better and better and better and better, almost every month now. But we don't try to make those claims.
Okay.
We think the responsible thing to do is to be an owner of your work, of your craft, and do that human review. It's most powerful when it's augmenting your flows. So we try to meet people where they are. The other thing that makes us different there is we do have an IDE extension, works in VS Code, Cursor, Windsurf, etc. That helps you, and when you the default is when you make a commit, a little thing pops up for a few seconds that says, "I noticed you made a commit. Do you want me to review this for you here?" Because you're there. Same with when you open up a PR, it's there. That's where you are as a developer. We also have a CLI that we put out. It's, to my knowledge, still the only code review agentic CLI. So it's firing off a code review. You can compare whatever commits you want. But what's cool is if you're someone who's trying to do the forefront stuff and try to put Claude in a container and just let it rip, you can have there when you tell Claude to build my $1 trillion SaaS company and your one magic prompt like that, you can say, like, when you're done, run CodeRabbit -- prompt only or -- plain. And what it will do is, instead of it being like an interactive, very pretty CLI, it's a really cool gradient ASCII art thing. Okay, I won't go into that. I'm seeing I'm feeling it. The eye roll over here.
No, I wasn't eye rolling. That's something in my. I think it's just been a long day for me. Gave a talk earlier and been working the booth. So no, definitely 100% no side eye or eye roll.
Yeah. Pick me up. But yeah, so like you can say, like, when you're done, run this, and then wait, and when you get if you get issues back about your code, address those. And so what in that mode for CodeRabbit CLI, it won't give you like all the things. It'll just give you what we give every single time on GitHub. We'll give you a little thing also in a carrot that says prompt for AI agents. And so you get a message, it's like one line or something like that. It's like, here's the problem. Here's a why, couple sentences, and then here's what you need to do. And then that way, we're respecting people that are using agents, and it's a single model, so you don't want to flood their context window with unnecessary tokens. It's just what we think is the most efficient kind of message to give to AI. So I've definitely thrown that in containers. I have a pet project where I'm doing game development that's only, my rule is I can't look at the code.
Nothing can go wrong.
Just make something magical. Surprise me.
Exactly. And then so I have every single one, and you can do this with Cursor, Codex, Gemini, anything, because at the end of the day, you're just asking it to run a shell command. So if you have shell access to your coding agent, you can run it. And it's fun to watch. It catches things, and again, like, I do look at those messages at least, and not 100% hit rate. Right. Like there's still definitely that need for human in the loop there and human ownership.
It's so funny you would mention that. I was at Frontier Tower, which is like this big community space in San Francisco, the other week, and I met like this AI researcher from Stanford, and he got $100,000 in like OpenAI credits, whatever, and he was telling me, he's running like 120 Docker containers right now doing exactly that.
It's like burn them all in an hour.
And the most success he had at the moment was like trying to give it the overall mission to act as an army general. Don't it happen that way. But I actually wanted to pick up on something else. Almost lost my plot. Yes. So I think back to your question about like, do we only focus on code review? Yes. And I think the main focus really is to focus on senior developers and help them in their code review workflow, reduce the cognitive load that you normally have when you're reviewing a large PR of a junior dev or somebody else in your team that you might not be as familiar with their code base, whatever they're pushing. So at the same time, you're looking at a new PR and you've got so much new code to figure out what it's actually doing, just taking away 50% of that cognitive load by giving you a point to start with, giving you the sequence diagram to understand, okay, what is this person actually trying to do, and just making sure that you have a code review buddy on your side that picks up some of the slack that you would normally forget. That's improving very powerful.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I just heard a big boom.
We were both like,
it wasn't an eye roll. I was like, what was that?
I don't know. I think people are tearing stuff down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's actually really refreshing to not try to do everything, because like there's so many things that are like, just run me all day and like see what you get when you come back. And I'd rather you be like, hey, this and this might be wrong. Here's how you can do the next thing, instead of just like, all right, you come back and there's like 50 change files and like, you know, I don't know what you did. I don't want that. I want to actually know what the code is doing. So, yeah.
100%. Yeah, I think we see that in the market. Like, it's a reflection of the market where, like, we know that, like, we as, you know, anybody that's following like AI or building anything that has to do with large language models at all, is like, we know that it's extremely a powerful technology. It's extremely, I think at this point we can just all say like, yeah, it's not hype to say it's a revolutionary technology, but the killer 100% success rate use case, no one's really figured out yet. And you know, it can definitely help you, for instance, with like deep research can be very, very helpful. But it's not going to go make you the presentation that's going to, like, you know, win in your boardroom or your sales pitch or and just do all that for you. It's not going to be your sales team for you or something like that. And so I think people are starting to, a lot of these companies are taking this kind of scattershot kind of approach and seeing what sticks. Whereas you know, kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, like I really, really like tools that do one thing and do it well. Like, I think if you do that, if you're just good at one thing and you're really, really good and you're known to be really, really good at that one thing, great. I mean, the pie is huge for everybody. There's a seat at the table for everybody. But if your thing is like mediocre across the board, your only play is going to be like, you've got distribution already, and that's kind of like people are like, okay, sure. So I think people, like, we try to shoot for making it as good as possible, being as transparent as possible. Like, we, again, going back to like the analysis chain, like you can see what shell scripts it came up with to do performance analysis, like every time it's just there. And I think that's a really, really cool thing. And it's what attracted me to CodeRabbit in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's good advice for almost all jobs, is find a specialty that you like, because I have a failed consulting agency. We were specialized in Ember and then kind of moved into React and Next.js and Vue and Svelte and everything. We could do everything. And then there was like no leads at that point, because it's like everyone can do everything, but only some people can do the one thing really well. And so anyone trying to start any kind of business, that is my advice to you. Do that. Yeah. Do not be a generalist. Pick a thing you like and do it very well.
You guys like Parks and Recreation?
I do, yeah.
Yes.
My all-time favorite quote from Ron Swanson, besides all the like just hilariously funny ones, yeah, like life advice, Ron Swanson, is don't half-ass two things, full-ass one thing. And I think that it's for business and for life. Like, just go all in on one thing.
Yeah. I like the burger one, where it's like, I don't know, I forget exactly what I was, but like the other guy makes this like really elaborate burger and he's like, look, it's meat on a bun, eat it. Like, and his is better. They're like, oh, what the
Yeah. He goes to the practice and he's like, I want, what would you like? He's like, I want all your meat. And then the guy walks away and he's like, no, come back. I think you might have misheard me. I just want to clarify all of the meat that you have.
Oh yeah, great show. They actually have a is it Lagavulin, I guess, that's like he has in his drawer. Yeah. They have a Nick Offerman edition.
No
that's
way.
like
Oh man.
They have a couple of them now, and he, like, I think goes and collaborates with them on it. So
That's
pretty
so
cool.
smoky,
Amazing.
though.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Lagavulin's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, like, so you were saying like people were discovering the config file for CodeRabbit. So like you seem to have pretty decent, sensible defaults.
Yep.
Like we don't need to go down the laundry list, but like what are the kind of things you can actually extend or like I guess customize for CodeRabbit?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, maybe starting to kind of like the things you might not expect that you could customize. So we run a ton of different tools, open source tools, that, you know, security standard tools, like, because why wouldn't we? If we can figure out how to orchestrate agents well, then we can just run lots and lots of tools. So we run, I think we say 40 plus on our site, but it's probably a lot more by now. But we list those off there. You can configure those in the YAML file to like run or not run if you want. You can, that which is kind of an odd thing that you could have such control over kind of the internal workings and like what it's doing. But if you zoom out and from like kind of the AI hype, and we've got special sauce and that what kind of everyone's doing. At the end of the day, it's a dev tool. Like who really cares if it's AI under the hood? It's an implementation detail. Like I don't.
Right.
I was telling someone they were asking because we don't have a model selector, and that's really common in AI tools. And I think that's kind of okay. Now the wine's kicking in. I'm gonna do some hot takes.
All right, welcome to spicy time.
Yeah, spicy time. I think that's it's as a product developer, it's your responsibility to make a good product experience and not leak implementation details or not add cognitive load. And I don't think that it's right or fair. I think people should be able to tinker with the different models, and play around. I think that's great to have playgrounds for those kinds of things and selection. But if you're building a product, you should know what model should be run. It shouldn't be put on your users. Like, I don't open up a mobile app and it's asked me like, do you want the backend to be run in Golang or is .NET okay? Like, that would be so wild. And, like imagine like that.
Or both.
Where it's like, well, I only do them if it's
I only
if
use
it's
apps where the backend is Golang personally, but
like that's so wild. Like I don't want that cognitive load when I'm using a dev tool. Like I just want the thing to do the thing. Like going back, like just do the thing that you're supposed to do it well, and be honest and transparent about it. Like going back to kind of the do you do anything more than code review? Because we have that scaffolding over the entire, we know what's going on in the entire code base, we can offer diffs and lines of code and whatnot, and you can apply those. You can commit it now. You can click a button to open in a new PR. You can look at the copy the diff just for yourself. You can send it to an AI agent. Whatever you want to do, because we know those are all the things that people will want to do in their flows. But we always say at the top too, like this is important, like 2 exclamation points, red, important. Always review the code. Always repeat the output. It's not like if you just take someone's code, whether it's an AI coding agent or I remember what the intern's name that we made up, but
Jerry.
Yeah.
You take Jerry's
killing
code,
it.
like
He's killing it.
and you just take it and say like, yep, go. Like, well, okay, you don't need Git anymore at that point. Like, just save your updates to the file system and serve that to production. Like, you don't need code review. You don't need Git. So don't just YOLO. Don't just push to production off of your local. Like, go through the code review process, as we all have realized is very, very important over the course of the history of software. And don't just take your coding agent's code. Don't just take CodeRabbit's code and say, yep, that's the right thing. Although I will say, Fun.js, user of CodeRabbit, my favorite commit message that I've seen in my short time so far at CodeRabbit is on a Bun PR where it's Jared. Shout out to Jared, massive respect. Like one of the people I've been following for so long. He's so freaking smart.
super smart guy.
Gosh. And man, he's just like, not to promote the kind of work-life balance kind of thing, but they'll see this like, it seems like he's a night owl. It'd be like
I don't think
He's never slept.
yeah.
He's you see the pictures of like, the San Francisco developers room where it's like a mattress, no blankets.
Yeah.
Like that's his room. He's coding all day.
In a bathroom.
I feel like if Jared didn't sleep, he wouldn't have a bed because that would just be wasteful.
That's true. So maybe he has no bed. He has a chair to rest occasionally.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, Jared.
but we're saying good things about you. We're just joking.
Massive respect. And it's this PR he's opened to fix like a deep internal thing. And there's like they've got RoboBun, which if you want to just see just how far you can take a a bot that can be specialized in your library or framework and just build it as a GitHub app. Like RoboBun is really, really cool. You can see it on all their PRs, but it's all these tests that it's gone through. Like scrolling, it's like 100 or probably more than that things, and like a human reviewer is not going to go over that. Plus it's Jared. Like you don't want to be like, hey Jared, there might be a problem in your code.
Yeah, you better be correct if you say that.
I don't have the courage. I know like all the people on the Bun team definitely do, but I would be like just imposter syndrome would take over. But first comment from CodeRabbit is critical. There's a memory leak here, and it's something that's internals for like when you're spinning up a bunch of VMs and tearing them down. There's memory, so it wouldn't be anything that a user of Bun would never experience. And it says this thing, and I remember when I was first scrolling, I was like, oh no, are we gonna do the AI slop, AI spam thing? Like, like you remember curl and all the CVEs that were opened up by slop AI. I was like, oh no, are we in that boat?
It's happening.
And then it's a resolve thread, and the commit that resolves it is from Jared. CodeRabbit is right. Is the commit message.
Nice.
I'm just like, yes.
That's cool though, because I mean they care a lot about performance, obviously, and and I mean, I'm impressed that LLMs are good with Zig.
Yeah.
Because like Zig, it's
one of the
pretty-
4
pretty
people that are
fresh.
good with Zig. Yeah.
Yeah. There's CodeRabbit and Jared and the rest of the staff.
Yeah, I think I looked up, like I did a query on GitHub the other week, and it was like, you can select the language, the predominant language in the repo. I was like, okay, what are the GitHub projects that have over 10,000 stars? They're written in predominantly Zig. There's Bun.
Just Bun.
Well, there's Bun. Ziglang. It's the actual language. And then Ghosty.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
Ghosty.
right.
I didn't know
That's
Ghosty
right.
was
I
Zig.
forgot he was doing that.
Shout out to Michael.
Yeah,
Dude.
I love Ghosty.
I love it. Like there was a podcast he did maybe like a year ago, I want to say, when they were like asking him a bunch of questions. It was like, after iTerm had released this like optional AI feature that like everyone exploded about, and it was like, guys, they did it as an optional thing. It's not on by default. But anyway, the internet's usually really fair and like very balanced takes. I'm being very sarcastic. Now I totally lost my train of thought. That's definitely the wine. Like this is Michael from Ghosty. It's just like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to make a really good tool, and like they're like, what new features and stuff like that, and it's like it's it.
I've been thoroughly enjoying all of his interactions because he's like, people are like, oh, how are you going to make money? What are you going to do with this? Whatever. He's like, I have 3 commas in my bank account, bro. Like, I don't give a shit about making money.
Dude, massive respect for someone that has just made it and made it so big and then been like, you know what? I'm going to just make the best possible thing. I'm going to make it free and open source for everybody. And we'll just take it from there.
Yeah, and scratch your own itch too. Like he wants that, so that's
it's
always
so
the best
good.
things.
Ghosty is so good.
I
Also,
love
Fish.
the polishing Ghosty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tight.
Yeah, I work for HashiCorp/IBM, so we all use Ghosty.
Oh, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So what's next? What can you do to improve? Like anything?
I think we gotta go.
on the-
We gotta go now. We can't talk about
it's
product
all-
roadmap.
Okay. Well, that's fine. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there's anything you could share, but if not, that's fine.
Okay, I can. I was kind of joking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear the whole roadmap.
Yeah. Okay. The whole roadmap, all the internets. You want to know how it works under the hood? It's this one prompt.
No, it's Jared.
Jared. Yeah. So one thing that's on my plate is, and I've been trying to get a lot of feedback here from folks, is that we are big proponents of open source. I think I mentioned it's free for open source forever by default. We also we have a pledge. We pledged $200,000. I think we made that pledge in February as just cash, not credits, cash to open source maintainers, because open source maintainers,
that's cool, man.
they need resources. We all know that they're starved for resources. I mean, it's basically the most of it is volunteer.
Yep.
And you do have great organizations and like the Linux Foundation, et cetera, that have made kind of this model over that. But so the thing, it's not that they need your product more than anything else. It's they need money. And money can get them what they need, and they know what they need best of all. So we made that pledge, and then we upped it. We announced our Series B last month, and at the same time, I said, okay, we're going to up the pledge to $1 million. $1 million.
Nice.
I don't have the exact numbers, but we're a little over $600,000 so far. I'll put out a post.
Okay.
Sorry, Arvind, my boss. Been busy this week.
He's
but
like, I don't remember agreeing to $1 million.
Actually, it was $1 trillion.
one. Sure, that's the pinky. Now we got the pinky.
Yeah.
But for real, like what I've been trying to do is get feedback because I've contributed to open source for most of my career. I've gotten a lot out of contributing, not just the like I'm contributing and it feels good, which is a great feeling, and it could be motivation in itself. But I've learned so much because if you're at a one company or maybe it's your third job, you've seen if it's your third job, you've seen how to do things 3 times. If you go look at open source, you can see an infinite amount of ways to do the thing that you're doing. Even if it's the same language, frameworks, tools, everything could be exactly the same in the stack. It's going to be different. Maybe it's the business logic a little different. Maybe the product space a little different. Data models, like how things are flowing through the application, say, et cetera. And design patterns, all those things, you can just learn those things. You don't have, like, a lot of people are like, how do I start contributing to open source? Like, you can reap massive benefits for your own development and just by reading open source. So, but what I've been trying to do, and the third time trying to come back to my train of thought, is get product feedback, because there's at the end of the day, it is code review, but there are discrete differences between a private pro money. What's the I don't know. For profit. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
We're all pro money, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get those
like
3
money.
commas in my bank
Yeah.
account.
Yeah. You can move to countries that have higher denominations.
Yeah, shout out Zimbabwe. Let's go.
Actually, we should do that. Remember the Silicon Valley show? How is this guy, Ras Hanneman?
Yeah.
He comes on.
Tres comas.
Tres comas, the tequila next time.
We did actually make it. So Harjot, our CEO, shout out to Harjot, just great guy to work with. Super technical, and on the business side, it's just kind of someone that's very inspirational.
Okay.
He's in the PRs himself.
Yes. And man, I'm losing all my trains of thought. Oh yeah, on Monday last week. Yeah, I need more wine. I need to focus. Monday last week, OpenAI had their OpenAI Dev Day, which is like their the WWDC of OpenAI, kind of like Apple's yearly developer conference.
Yeah.
And he was a main stage speaker talking about code review, and literally the whole presentation, besides like kind of a shout out at the end to like what we published about GPT-5 code, it's kind of him repeating those things about what we find there. Is we just look through open source repos. That was the talk. Here's how this open source project used it. Here's how it detected a memory leak here. Here's how they've customized it a little bit. Here's how it's just so cool to do that, and so rewarding day to day that you can just be like, oh, like we're just helping people, and people really like the part. We had someone coming up yesterday twice from I don't want to necessarily shout him out on the live stream, but like
I'll throw him under the bus.
well, it would be more like a celebration of him, but like I don't want to necessarily call him out, but they because they do open source work and closed source work, and they started using CodeRabbit. He loved it. He was like he was the one that gave me this like 50-50 hit rate.
Okay.
And this take that like that's really good. And so he was saying this while I was talking to somebody. He came up and was just like, we love you guys, and I was kind of talking about stuff with him, and he just started talking about how they're using it, and I just like backed away. I was like, great, now we got a 5th person at the booth. I'm like, dude, and it was a project that people would be familiar with. This gentleman works on, And so it was just really cool to hear, him say, yeah, the first time we tried it, it was 50-50. And we're like, this is great. It just works for us. And then they're going through the configuration, making it better and better for themselves. You use the chat. If you say something like, hey, on this one, we're using this library in this way. We always want that to happen. CodeRabbit will kind of try to understand what you're saying. And most of the time, if you say something like, always want you to do this, or maybe it'll just infer it from your comments, it'll create a learning. And this is another thing that's transparent, another carrot, that shows you the learning that it's had. And you can manage those in the dashboard. You can see all of them. And they all are attributed to, like, who is the person that I learned this from? Where's the link to, like, the PR or the issue or wherever I learned this from? And then what is the learning that I'm applying every time I'm doing code review? And so you can do that. That's like the quickest and easiest way to just have it start customizing to your needs. And then the more you use it, or the more history you have in your PRs, the more it can kind of generate context of, okay, how does this team operate? What do they actually care about? Maybe they don't care about these, like, this thing that, maybe they don't care about memory leaks.
Yeah.
It's like, don't tell me about my memory leaks.
Yeah, I don't care about them personally.
It's client side. Who cares? Like,
They won't be on the page that long.
Get more memory. It's okay.
So you just download some more. Just have a download link. Like, it's just so cool that so many people come up to us. I'm sure you have this experience too, where people are just like, I really like your thing. And then they start talking to someone else about, that you're trying to talk to that's never heard of CodeRabbit. And
it's a great position to be in as a DevRel person. When you have so many, And I'm saying this. I came before from a smaller startup where I had to work. I was working as a software engineer and as a DevRel person, which made it easy for me to sell because I knew the product so well because I was so deep in the code.
Right.
But over here, it's just fluent. Because I feel like the product really hits the spot where people are right now feeling a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And you can feel that when people come up and they get excited about talking about your product, and then you get excited talking about your product, and then everybody gets excited.
Nice.
That's
cool.
It's good to be around.
All right, we're about at time. Where can people try it out? Where should they go to check everything out?
You can go to CodeRabbit.ai. You can also go to CodeRabbit.com, which will redirect you to CodeRabbit.ai.
Okay.
And
.com is not what you lead with? I guess you want to know that it's AI. I guess.
fewer tokens. And then, just log in with your GitHub, and then you're just good to go. Again, free for open source forever. We have like a free tier and a light tier and a pro tier, and then classic enterprise, contact us. But that pro tier,
mystery price.
Yeah. How much would you think it should cost?
Yeah. How much money do you have?
Actually, someone came up to me today and they asked me how much it cost, and then they answered their own question before I said anything. They're like, it's like $1,000 a year or something like that. I was like, oh man, we got to go back to the sales team and update those prices. It's because it's for the pro tier, it's $24 a month if you pay annually, $30 a month if you want to go month to month. 14-day free pro trial, so you can run it on your private repos, etc. But again, if it's open source, if it's just a public repo, it's free by default forever.
Nice.
And then the free tier, if you do the 14-day pro trial and you have your repos private, that'll still give you like summaries and some basic things, but it won't do the code review. It won't give you like the ability to chat, things like that. You can also just download the CLI or the VS Code or Cursor WinSub extension, and it's rate limited, so to prevent abuse.
Yeah.
But it's free. I think it's like $1 an hour is the rate limit. So it's still going to be helpful for you.
Yeah.
And there it's just sign in with GitHub and you're good to go. So, and if you're in the market, this is like the sales team. If they hear this, they won't. But just try.
Come on, sales team. Listen to the podcast.
Just try. Yeah, we actually get 100% commission on all the open source projects that use us.
Okay.
That's why they don't send the sales team, because it's $0. What the heck was I talking about?
I don't know. I'm sorry to derail you.
No, I derailed myself.
Sales team.
Yeah, sales team, money, trying it out. Oh yeah, the sales team will hate me for saying this one thing. This one thing sales teams don't want you to know, or don't want you to say if you work there. Try out if you're in the market and you want to try code review, just try them all out. Just do it. Just most of them have some kind of free tier or free trial or something like that. Set up a repo, make it a public repo, but go fork a large open source repo so you can kind of see what would this be like in production. And then have CodeRabbit, have all the other ones you want to check out on there. Just set that, like Monday you're going to do this, and set them all up, and then let it run, play with it, and see what you get for different ones. We did have an open source maintainer tweet out Simon Farshid from Assistant UI, which is like probably like if you're doing any chat GPT or Claude-like thing, you want a chat, you want to interact with any of these LLM API providers, you want artifacts, like all that kind of stuff. It's a UI library, and they also have a runtime as well in there to kind of handle all of the different API providers and whatnot. He tweeted out one of the like least appreciated features of CodeRabbit is that it detects other code review bots, and like our whole thing is to not add spam, right? It's to be helpful and supportive. So even if you have auto review set on, if it detects that someone else that there's another bot that's doing code review, it will say, okay, I'll hold off.
Okay.
Like just a little comment and says, I'll hold off. If you want me to just say review, at CodeRabbit review.
Okay.
And it'll do its full review and everything like that. But like I don't want to just scroll through 10 different bot messages, pages and pages and pages,
And
right?
they start fighting with each other. Actually.
Yeah. Just code shaming the other. Yeah. But yeah, like I really just try them all out. Like, we think it's good. And again, if you don't think it's good, and you tried like customizing or anything like that, and it's still not working for you, don't use it. And just let us know if you can. Maybe not like a giant tweet or something, but just try it out. Reach out to us. You can reach out to me in DMs at ESTHOR, ESTHOR.
Okay.
Do you want to? I'm throwing you on the
where
spot.
can we find you?
I'm just Hendrik Crack.
Cool. I'm just holding back so much on the pun.
No, I'm just.
He's a cracked engineer because his last name's Name jokes are never good.
All right.
Also,
Put me
for
into
people
your
watching the
headphones.
live stream, I haven't been falling asleep. It's very sunny over here, so I keep doing this. So, and I'm
Blind
awake.
sitting.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, guys. Check out CodeRabbit, and if you guys like this, please subscribe, leave some ratings and reviews. We appreciate it, and we will catch you next time.
Thank you so much.
Later.
All right.
Yeah, it got like